For the 13th time in NBA history, we have a 70-plus point performance. Damian Lillard is the 8th player to do so. In this video, we're going to take a look at the history around these 70-point games. This is Game Log Surfing.
To get the ride. High dribble, into the lane, running right-hander, up and in, Damian Lillard. 71 points.
Now we have to start with the king of 70-point games, and that is Wilt Chamberlain, who did it 6 times in his career, hanging 70, 72, 73 twice, 78, and 100. Let's take a look at a couple of those game logs. We're not going to spend a ton of time on Wilt. We're not looking at all these. We're going to spend more time on the other players, but there are 2 really interesting elements, 2 interesting game logs to show you around Wilt. The first is around his 100-point game. You had a 61-point game the game before and a 58-point game after. So he went 100. That is the legendary game. But before that, 61, and after that, 58. Even for Wilt, that's impressive. Also impressive was his 72 and 73 games, where he did them just a couple weeks apart. November 3rd, 1962, 72 points at the Lakers. Then on November 16th at the Knicks, 73 for Wilt. So he went 72 and 73 within just a couple of games, just within 2 weeks of one another. And also impressive here is the fact that on back-to-back games at New York and at Boston, he put up 73 and then 45. Again, even for Wilt, who was known to just be a bucket machine, to go 73 and 45 on back-to-backs, that's pretty good, even for Wilt. All right, that is the Wilt Chamberlain portion of the program. Let's get to some of the other guys that we're going to focus on. We're going to start with Devin Booker. Now, Booker scored 70 back on March 24th, 2017 against the Celtics on the road in Boston. But coming into that game, he had not really been playing that well. We take a look at these scores, these scoring outputs: 19, 10, 13, 28, not much. And he was not shooting well either. That's the result of it. 6 for 26, 3 for 13, 4 for 16, not doing a good job, kind of in a slump heading into his 70-point game, where he finally got it all together, going 21 out of 40 at Boston, like we said, putting up 70 points. Now, interesting to note that in this game, only 4 out of 11 Devin Booker was from three-point line. You would expect to get to 70, you'd maybe see 10 threes or something to that mark, but just 4 out of 11. But what gets him there, and what gets a lot of these guys there, is the free throws. In this game, he went 24 out of 26, and that's one of the key elements. That's one of the hallmarks when you're looking at the stat line for a 70-point game, is that you had to get to the free throw line a ton. You see 26 free throw attempts, more than the 4 previous games combined. Let's get to the next one. Elgin Baylor put up 71 at New York at the Garden on November 15th, 1960, on 28 out of 48 from the field. We highlight the games leading up to, and we see he was doing it. 3 40-point games leading up to 71. 40, 40, 45 in 3 of the 4 games before his 71-point outburst at the Garden in 1960. So Elgin Baylor checks in with the 71-point game. Again, we'll sort of highlight it all right there, and you can see again the 28 for 48, 71 points altogether for Elgin. Next up, David Robinson with an interesting situation, because heading into the final game of the season, 1993-94 season, he was battling with Shaq for the scoring title. And basically, David Robinson needed 71 points to get to that scoring title. We see what David Robinson did leading up to this final game, 32-30. I mean, he was a scoring machine at that point, 31, 32, 39, 22, 29, doing his thing. And then it was final game of the year at the Clippers, April 24th, 1994, where he put up 71 points and got himself the scoring title just barely by percentage points over Shaq. So David Robertson checks in with 71. Now, earlier this year, we had Donovan Mitchell put up a 71-point game. We highlight leading into that game, similar to Devin Booker, wasn't really stroking it. It's 12, 15, 28, 15-point games. 3 of the 4 games before his 71-point game, we got really just weak performances from Donovan Mitchell, and it really gets back to the shooting. 4 for 16, 5 for 16, 25, 31% from the field, not getting to the free throw line, 4, 2, 4, 6. But then the outburst, we saw 20 out of 25 from the free throw line as he got to, as again, I highlight those free throws because that's, again, one of the key elements here. 71 points on 22 of 34 from the field, 7 out of 15 from 3. But again, those free throws, 20 out of 25, get him there, push him over the edge and get him to 71 points. Next, last night, Damian Lillard. 71 points for Damian Lillard last night, coming off the All-Star break, coming off an extended break after that weird situation with the plane and the delay and his whatever happened, but missing the first game back from the All-Star break and then coming back. So about a week, maybe that's what you need. What was it? 4 or 5 days just isn't enough. That just is not enough. We need to make it a full week because then Damian Lillard is going to come back and just go crazy. 22 out of 38 from the field, 13 out of 22 from 3, which was 1 3 shy of tying the all-time three-point mark in a single game. Was that 13 out of 22 from 3. Now, we didn't see him go crazy from the free throw line, 14 out of 14. So this is one of the instances where we don't see a high free throw attempt total, but still 14 out of 14 for Lillard from the free throw line. And now, by the way, this has been his highest scoring season. Points per game, it's the highest we've ever seen from Lillard, over 32 points at this point. And we have also seen a 60-point outburst from him earlier this year, back on January 25th. So Lillard is in scoring mode. So Damian Lillard, that was fun last night. Let's get to David Thompson. 73 points on April 9th, 1978. We take a look at his scoring. David Thompson, one of the, you want to call it, greatest, saddest what-if cases in NBA history. Heading into his 73-point game, wasn't lighting the world on fire. 25, 17, 20, 25, 28, 26 was not, no 30-point games. Nothing to really give you a feeling of what was on the horizon for David Thompson on that night in Detroit on April 9th when he put up 73, going 28 out of 38 from the field, 17 out of 20 from the free throw line. David Thompson that year, 6 40-point games, had not ventured much higher than that. So again, this 73 on the final day of the season did kind of sort of come out of nowhere, but a strong finish for David Thompson nonetheless. Let's get to Kobe Bryant. This is going to be our last player that we touch as he get to 81 points back on January 22nd, home in LA against Jalen Rose and those Raptors. Kobe, with that season, that stretch, heading into his 81-point game, was on fire. Coming off of a mini suspension, was dropping 48, 50, 45. Let me make this larger for you guys. We were over 40 points 5 times, 3 40-plus point games and 2 50-plus point games heading into that 81. So Kobe was on fire. And I want to highlight on January 7th, he attempted 41 shots and got 50 points. 46 attempts, just 5 more attempts was his field goal attempt number on that January 2nd when he posted the 81 points. He made 28 of those 46, 60% from the field, 7 out of 13 from 3, 18 out of 20 from the free throw line. Kobe Bryant, again, that stretch was incredible. That was, if memory serves me right, his highest scoring season. And during this stretch of games, he was averaging 45 and a half. Now, that includes the 81, but still, Kobe was on fire in January of 2006. That is our history around 70-plus point games as we went game log surfing for those players that have gone over 70. Thank you guys for coming in and spending time with the channel. Make sure to subscribe if you have not yet. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video as well. I will add some other content, some of my previous game log surfing videos for you to check out here now. I do appreciate you coming in. Thank you for watching my video, and I'll catch you next time.